Hello. Today I will be doing a something I have never done before. An iceberg video. Not any, just a gorilla tag iceberg. Now, if you don't know what an iceberg video is, it's basically a game or a subject and we start at the surface to basically the well known stuff, such as common subjects that almost the whole community, if you spent time in it, should know. But as we go deeper, all of that becomes less known. Okay? Um, I've never done this though, so it's not gonna be perfect, but let me know if you want a part two, anything. Here we go. Let me pull it up and we can get started. Hello, so this is the iceberg that I've pulled up. And I've spent some time. This is some sensitive stuff, so you can get a pretty good explanation of what we're dealing with here. And I can explain as much as I can to you. So let's do this as a video, and please enjoy. So with number one, we will start with shiny rocks. Shiny rocks are a base purchase. If you've been to city, you know what shiny rocks are in the community. They are a average. You get 100 a day, and they are used to buy cosmetics, items, anything you can think of, even skins. But you cannot get certain items with them as of now. But there are still stuff you can buy, such as gold hat and such forth. Next, we got mini games. Mini games became pretty popular at my time of Gorilla Tag. I definitely did join. Mini games are definitely prime. They were definitely in their time during cave days when OG Caves was the main contraption, and it was definitely a main bit of Gorilla Tag that got me started. Of course, you know the infamous "Do you want to play mini games, kids?" and you know the infamous kids. But yeah, that's kind of it that I can name. Next, we got Ghost. Ghosts are a average thing in the community. Even now, people make videos. Now, it's not as popular as they were before. If you grew up at the time when OG Caves got shut down, you definitely heard of Ghosts. Ghosts are more hackers now and aren't actually seen as real things, as most people are hackers because most community of Ghosts even died out when Cave shut down. J-Man Curly. J-Man Curly is one of not the most known. He is one of the most known, if not, then I'd be surprised, but he is the most known content creator in the community. He actually is probably half of the reason that people get interested in Gorilla Tag and learn what it is. And he is I think, the peak for Gorilla Tag. Now, as I'm writing this video, he had just made a recent one called Ronaldo Update and stuff, but he had been maybe focusing on the fan games, which is why he probably isn't as known for compared to before. Next, we got Doug the Bug, and we're moving on to the next list. Doug the Bug is a kind of a beetle, you can call it, but it is a bug that flies around. You can grab onto it, and it is only found in forest. Just like the bat in remastered caves, it is grabbable and can be thrown around and all that kind of stuff. You know the drill. Rotation map. Maps, I'm assuming this entry refers to how the map changes over time. For example, a map could be really early in the morning or look really sky, and there could be birds. But at other times, it's a complete sound of almost just crickets. It changes over time. And it doesn't happen usually when you're on, but you can totally see the difference. Such as rain and more can be events. Finger painter badge. Finger painter badge is only given to real content creators that have physically spent most of their time on the content. Most people are given this badge as a resemblance to show that they are a content creator is they're almost one proof for it. But this also comes with costs such as people mainly targeting you and player trackers and all that kind of stuff. So it comes out with its own risk. Mini 99. I am pretty sure this entry refers to how Minigames 99 is a banned code. It is, I'm pretty sure, a only Minigames code that is bannable, that you can get banned for. If this entry means anything else, uh, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm totally fine knowing. Biscuit VR. Biscuit VR is almost one of the most hated content creators I can think of for pretty much faking one of the most insane critical issues or sicknesses or diseases you can think of. He fakes cancer, but he is currently trying to regain and trying to better himself. I still think he deserves a chance after everything he's done. Yes, he's done things, and yes, he's said things that aren't that true, but I'm willing to believe that what he did was definitely worth it. Admin badge. Admin badge is only really given to Lemming. I'm pretty sure. Content creators have the stick. Admin badges for Lemming only. He's the only one in the community who has it. So just know it's either he has it and it's Lemming himself, or it's a hacker who cheated for it. Space map. I'm pretty sure this map was theorized or was actually a thing or was leaked in some way, but people didn't know. It was kind of a theory, and I'm pretty sure it got corrected eventually as, I think, a false, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know much on the subject. Next iceberg bit. Let's move on. The gorillas were originally robots. You don't know this unless you physically spent your time to look into the content. But before Lemming decided to name the game even Gorilla Tag, the game was completely a whole different game. For example, Forest was originally not even a thing. It was definitely theorized, I feel like, but at the time it was very much in beta, and the game was only being put out to testing. Never was planned to be released. But he originally went for the characters as robots or bots, as you see here in this image on the right. But now it is almost not like that, as you can see as the current day. Old Stump Staircase. Old Stump Staircase was way different back then. It wasn't your normal escalation, and it wasn't how you just went up and then turned around and went into Stump. Back then, it was more complicated. You had to jump between them, and kids and stuff used to complain over it because it was way too hard to get over. You either learned or you never got up it, basically. And this only was in Forest. There was no other. This was the only area that had that type of staircase. Target Cosmetic. Target Cosmetic was theorized as a cosmetic, I'm pretty sure, to be coming as a April Fool's thing, just like Mask was theorized to be coming. But it was also, but we never got anything. So we just assumed it was going to happen, maybe. And long story short, it never happened for us. This is definitely theorized. The file and the item itself was very much in the game, and we don't know if it was planned to even release as a mask. Nothing. Pace, PACE and cave, or place in cave. This is actually, I'm pretty sure, still in the game. It can be found in City, and it was behind one of the casual. It was behind in City Map. In the City Map, in the introduction, if you go under one of the billboards, there's actually this exact quote, and it reads almost place in cave. People thought this theorized with stuff like either ghosts or this theorized with something coming to caves. But we eventually never found out what it actually was or involved. And we still don't now to this day. Next case. We're getting lower, guys. Halloween 2022 saved Gorilla Tag. At the time before this update was released, Gorilla Tag was very going low in decline. It was very low on players. Yeah, people were playing it, but it was very theorized, and it was definitely the savior at the time. The game was dry, okay? The game wasn't much. It was maybe a few things, but it wasn't big. Then Halloween 22 released all this stuff, and it became one of the best things. And everyone got hooked on it. Jay McCurley was the first to kind of bring stuff to the game, and then this came out, and it saved the community. Crystal Cavern's Secret Room. I'm pretty sure this refers to the caves being theorized to have a secret area. I'm pretty sure nowadays this is actually a thing. Like, you can go and find this. This is actually a real life thing that's in OG Caves that is kind of, I think, what we got as a content update for it. It's with the backup reactor in the underground area. This was theorized and was leaked, but we had no idea it was the truth. Scrapped dodgeball game mode. I'm pretty sure at the time, either it was getting teased or it was getting leaked that a dodgeball game mode was in the works. People in Gorilla Tag, even now, when they hear a new game mode coming out, they wish it's dodgeball. But you gotta realize that maps would totally be different even if a dodgeball game mode got implemented. Which is probably why it ended up being scrapped and ended up being canceled. Watermelon hat. I'm pretty sure this was either a leaked file or this was an actual thing. And I'm pretty sure either it involved the coconut hat, which is what we have now, or it involved maybe something more. Let me know in the comments. The beach map broke Gorilla Tag. Okay, when the beach map first came out, it was a mess. There were so many bugs that got spotted that people abused. For example, there was a bug that people found out that water would actually flood the map and you'd be able to go out of beach map and it would allow you to swim anywhere. And it was found out by going at a certain point in caves where the water would have been at a certain level, you would have dropped down and you would have jumped around. Okay, and you would have done some sort of mechanic, and it definitely would have bugged the game out and made you think you were still on level. Which is why the game didn't process it and decided to break the game. There were a bunch of other game-breaking bugs, but that was like the main one that blew up. That people realized you could swim out of maps with it. 62524 incident. I don't actually have a direct example of this. If you know anything about this, go ahead and tell me. I'll read it and maybe I'll add it to the video later. Iron Man on guitar. There is a certain theme of Iron Man, which I don't know what it is. I'll put it in chat. I'll put it in description of what it is. But people found out by a certain combination and a certain hand movement that you could play a Iron Man theme on the rock guitar. People definitely went around and played it for a while, but yeah, it was kind of cool to see. Carvings in OG Canyons hinted at revamp and beach map. Back then, in original canyons, there were carvings, I'm pretty sure, on the walls or such that actually was hinting that there was going to be a revamp and an entire beach map. People thought it was theorized, okay? People didn't think it was going to happen, but it happened anyway. All Gorilla Tag players are mentally ill. This is actually a pretty dark subject, and I don't know if I can really go down this path. If someone wants to go ahead and describe it in comments, go ahead. I don't know much about that subject. People dying while playing Gorilla Tag. People dying while playing Gorilla Tag is most likely referring to how people can injure themselves. People injure themselves really bad in Gorilla Tag. It's not fun to witness. It's very traumatizing, but yeah, it's a mess, okay? Let's not talk about that. Gorilla Tag causes cancer. I'm pretty sure this is a theory. It isn't actually scientifically proved. But if it is, let me know. I have no idea. Next tier. Cults on Gorilla Tag. Cults are mainly a thing I don't like talking about in public areas. But if I'm going to be honest, yes, there are groups and cults that are probably living in Gorilla Tag or invest in Gorilla Tag, and you have no idea. But public lobbies, watch out. Because these people could probably be trying to recruit you. You'd have no idea. Why Gorilla Tag is listed as psychopathical horror. This isn't, it's actually not considered real horror. The reason this is most likely because of the basement and other reasons. Other reasons would be ghosts and other stuff that make it that it's not actually physical, but yes, it can be horror to you and others around you. You are always being watched. This most likely refers to the subject of Lemming always keeping track. But yes, you are most likely being watched. You are monitored the moment. And people can play or track you. It is a mess of a community, okay? Gorilla Tag uses an in hold on, let me read that. Gorilla Tag uses an indoctrination tactic by political exterminists. This I can't really tell you. I don't know much about it. Okay? I don't. Really, I don't. Now we're getting to the more sensitive suspect, okay? I don't know if I can say that. Let's just say deals on Gorilla Tag. Yes, these are definitely a mess. And these are most likely adults that interfere with other adults. Now, yes, some kids are definitely on the weird side, but I could definitely not ever see this happening with a kid between an adult. And yes, I could see that, but no. This I definitely do not care about. These mods I don't care to talk about. I'm very sorry, but it's too dark for me to go into. And yeah. All copies of Gorilla Tag are personalized. This is very true. And I do, as it says, do not research. I do not recommend doing this at all, researching it. But yes, most of these things are personalized. And we're not just talking that they made it themselves and all that stuff. We're talking, this is also open source, open code, and everything. You have no idea. But the whole Gorilla Tag movement, just know that's the only thing that Lemming technically made. It's the only thing that's open source because he made it. Everything else, on the other hand, is not. Once again, I would like to thank user Tricky Animator 5582 on Reddit for this iceberg. He definitely was a big help with this. I'll leave his Reddit in description, but this is the Gorilla Tag iceberg, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a good day or good night wherever you are, and peace.